The Old Testament, a foundational text for both Judaism and Christianity, offers a fascinating glimpse into the social and legal customs of ancient Israel. These scriptures, written thousands of years ago, provide a window into the lives, beliefs and practices of a people whose influence still resonates today. It provides insights into various aspects of life, including marriage and divorce. The daily life of ancient Israelites, from bustling marketplaces to quiet village scenes, was deeply intertwined with their religious and legal traditions. While the Old Testament esteems marriage as a sacred covenant, it also acknowledges the reality of divorce. Marriage was seen as a divine institution, a bond blessed by God. Yet the scriptures do not shy away from addressing the complexities and challenges that could lead to its dissolution. This essay delves into what the Old Testament says about divorce, exploring its laws, customs, and spiritual implications. The legal proceedings and the role of judges in ancient Israel were crucial in interpreting and enforcing these laws, reflecting a society that sought to balance justice with compassion. Understanding the historical and cultural context is crucial when interpreting these ancient texts. Archaeological discoveries and scholarly research continue to shed light on how these laws were applied and understood in their time. The Old Testament's perspective on divorce reflects the patriarchal structure of ancient Israelite society, where men held greater social and legal authority than women. This male-dominated hierarchy influenced the laws and customs surrounding marriage and divorce, often placing women in a more vulnerable position. Women in ancient Israel had limited rights and were often dependent on their husbands for social and economic security. Divorce, therefore, had significant implications for their lives, affecting their status, livelihood, and even their ability to remarry. The laws regarding divorce in the Old Testament, such as those found in Deuteronomy, were designed to address these issues. They provided guidelines for the proper procedure of divorce, aiming to protect the rights of both parties, though often within the constraints of a patriarchal framework. By examining these ancient texts, we gain a deeper understanding of the values and concerns of the Israelite community. The Old Testament's approach to divorce reveals a complex interplay between legal, social, and spiritual dimensions, reflecting a society striving to uphold its covenantal relationship with God while navigating the realities of human relationships. In ancient Israel, women occupied a subordinate position within the patriarchal social structure. While the Old Testament contains examples of strong and influential women, such as Deborah and Esther, their legal standing remained secondary to men. This subordination is particularly evident in matters of marriage and divorce. Women were generally considered under the authority of their fathers until marriage, at which point their husbands assumed this authority. This societal structure significantly impacted how divorce was perceived and practiced in ancient times. Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 1, is a key passage regarding divorce in the Old Testament. It states, "Suppose a man marries a woman, but she does not please him because he finds something objectionable about her. He writes her a certificate of divorce, hands it to her and sends her out of his house." This passage has been subject to various interpretations throughout history. Some scholars argue that this verse permits divorce for almost any reason, while others maintain that the something objectionable refers to serious offences. The ambiguity of this passage has led to differing opinions on the grounds for divorce. In ancient Israel, marriage was not solely a romantic union, but primarily a legal contract between families. The groom's family would typically pay a bride price to the bride's family, signifying the transfer of her economic and social standing. This contractual aspect of marriage had implications for divorce. If a husband chose to divorce his wife, he was obligated to provide her with a certificate of divorce, which legally dissolved the marriage and allowed her to remarry. This certificate protected the woman's rights and ensured her social standing wasn't irrevocably tarnished by divorce. The Old Testament primarily frames divorce as an action initiated by the husband. The Hebrew term for divorce, shalach, literally means to send away, emphasizing the husband's authority in the process. While wives could petition for divorce, their success depended on their husband's consent. This disparity in power highlights the challenges women faced in ancient Israelite society. Their ability to leave an unhappy or abusive marriage was severely limited by social norms and legal structures. The Old Testament outlines a specific process for divorce designed to prevent hasty decisions and protect the rights of both parties. This process was not just a legal formality, but a deeply ingrained cultural practice that reflected the values and social norms of the time. A husband seeking divorce was required to provide his wife with a written certificate of divorce known as a get. This certificate was a formal document that had to be meticulously prepared and delivered in the presence of witnesses, ensuring that the act of divorce was taken seriously and not done on a whim. This document legally dissolved the marriage and allowed the woman to remarry. The get was a crucial element in protecting the woman's rights, as it provided her with the freedom to move on with her life and seek a new partner without any legal or social repercussions. However, there were exceptions to this rule. The process was designed to be fair and just, but it also had safeguards to prevent its misuse. For instance, if a man falsely accused his wife of adultery, he was prohibited from divorcing her. This rule was put in place to protect women from being wrongfully accused and to ensure that men could not manipulate the system to their advantage. This exception aimed to prevent men from using false accusations to exploit the divorce system for their own gain. The legal framework of the time was quite advanced in its understanding of human behavior and the potential for abuse, and it sought to create a balanced and equitable process for all involved. The community played a significant role in overseeing the process, ensuring that all actions were transparent and just. Elders and judges would often be involved in the proceedings, providing a layer of accountability and fairness. Ultimately, the process of divorce in the Old Testament was a reflection of the society's commitment to justice, fairness, and the protection of individual rights. It was a system that recognized the complexities of human relationships and sought to address them with wisdom and compassion. Ambiguity in Deuteronomy 24, verse 1. As mentioned earlier, the phrase "something objectionable" in Deuteronomy 24, verse 1 has sparked considerable debate among scholars. The ambiguity of this phrase has led to varying interpretations regarding the permissible grounds for divorce in ancient Israel. Some interpretations, influenced by later rabbinic tradition, suggest that this phrase refers to any matter that caused the husband displeasure, even trivial matters. Others argue that it implies serious offences such as adultery or abandonment. The lack of clarity in the text itself has contributed to these diverse interpretations. The Bill of Divorcement, also known as the get, played a crucial role in the legal process of divorce in ancient Israel. This document served as a legal contract, officially ending the marriage and freeing both parties to remarry. The Bill of Divorcement had to be written and delivered according to specific legal requirements. The husband was responsible for obtaining the Bill of Divorcement from a scribe and delivering it to his wife. This document protected the woman's rights by ensuring her legal separation from her husband and her ability to move forward with her life. Beyond its legal and social dimensions, the Old Testament also presents marriage and divorce as metaphors for the relationship between God and his people. God is often portrayed as the faithful husband, while Israel is depicted as the wife, prone to unfaithfulness and idolatry. The prophets frequently used this imagery to express God's love for his people, his pain over their sinfulness, and his desire for reconciliation. Just as divorce brought pain and separation to a human couple, Israel's unfaithfulness grieved God and damaged their relationship with him. The Old Testament's perspective on divorce offers a glimpse into the social, legal, and religious landscape of ancient Israel. It reveals how deeply intertwined these aspects were in shaping the lives of the people. The laws and customs surrounding marriage and divorce were not just legal formalities, but were also reflections of the community's values and beliefs. While marriage was considered a sacred covenant, divorce was acknowledged as a reality, albeit one with specific laws and procedures governing its practice. These laws were designed to maintain social order and protect the rights of individuals within the community. The process of divorce was not taken lightly and involved various steps to ensure that it was carried out justly. The subordinate position of women in this patriarchal society significantly influenced how divorce was perceived and experienced. Women often had limited rights and were dependent on their husbands for social and economic security. This power imbalance meant that divorce could have severe consequences for women, leaving them vulnerable and marginalized. The ambiguity surrounding the grounds for divorce, particularly in Deuteronomy 24, verse 1, has led to varying interpretations throughout history. This verse mentions a man finding some indecency in his wife as a reason for divorce, but what constitutes indecency has been debated by scholars and religious leaders for centuries. This lack of clarity has resulted in different communities and traditions developing their own understandings and practices regarding divorce. Despite these complexities, the Old Testament's teachings on divorce underscore the importance of commitment, compassion, and the pursuit of justice within marriage. The texts emphasize that marriage should be based on mutual respect and love, and that divorce, while sometimes necessary, should be approached with care and consideration for all parties involved. The goal was to ensure that even in the dissolution of a marriage, the principles of justice and compassion were upheld. Understanding these ancient texts provides valuable insights into the historical and cultural context of biblical teachings on marriage and divorce. By studying the Old Testament's perspective on these issues, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the complexities and nuances of ancient Israelite society. This knowledge not only enriches our understanding of the past, but also informs contemporary discussions on marriage, divorce, and the role of religious teachings in shaping social norms and values.